Hi everyone, welcome to the class. As we have learned in the last class regarding reading maps of different kinds, we have gone through what kind of maps we have, what are the different symbols that are used, etc. Wherever we go, we need to know how many kilometers we would be traveling. So we would take the help of maps and do that. And we also find the landforms, different landforms on maps, and why are they useful, etc. So now the next class would be we would be talking about um, how this works, like how the maps are, what how do we recognize the symbols that are there on the maps, and how the distance, that is kilometers, or how it is measured, and how is the height measured on the land from the sea level, or what exactly is done, and what are the counter lines, how a physical map works, what is a political map. We would be learning all those things. Okay, so let's go into the lesson. Now you have seen, you do see a map where it shows there's a sea. If you can see the symbols, the star mark shows monuments and pilgrimage centers. The square box, which shows wildlife sanctuaries and national parks. The hill resort, a hill triangle, a hill resorts. And again another square box which shows us beaches. Rectangle box, I can say. So you can see there are so many different kinds of so many monuments and pilgrim places available in India. So many star marks, and then we have hill resorts, beaches, wildlife sanctuaries. So I hope you are able to understand. See? So this is how we read the maps using symbols. And you can see the direction map as well. Yep. Okay. Now this is how the symbol works. This is how we read, or we try to understand what is the symbol represent. Now, last class we have heard, we talked about maps. What do you mean by map? Map is nothing but a physical or map a form showing the Earth's surface, right? What is the meaning of atlas? Atlas is something which shows us all the different kinds of maps, which has political map, world map, physical map, showing landforms, etc. And I have showed you as well the atlas. I hope you have gone through it on internet. What are the uses of maps? We use map for different things: to find out the location, to know where a hospital is, to know where to when we are traveling, if we are not able to know the route properly, then we take the help of the maps. So maps are very much useful for us, and thankful to people who have introduced, who have invented maps. And it was Greek people who have introduced maps. What are the symbols and objects used for? So symbols and objects which are used for to locate monuments, to locate hospitals, to locate restaurants, yes, schools, etc. Now let's just go through a quick keywords. Let's just have an information about what are the difficult words that we come across a lesson. Physical map. Physical map is, it shows us the location. We identify the different landforms which we have. So physical, there's a distance between landmarks, and it also differs from a genetic map. Genetic map is nothing but a biological map. Yeah, it refers to science. So as a physical map is showing the sources or the landscape or available on earth in that particular place. So I have put a small video as well. If you have time, please go through that. You can see the map, India map, which is in 3D, and it's really awesome. So you will be able to understand how the kings who have ruled India were able to conquer, and how much land they have conquered. So what are the area, how much area or how many states have come into their when they conquered it under them. So you'll be able to find that. Now what do you mean by flat paper? Flat paper, flat is, paper will be flat, is that what does it mean? Yes, a paper which is not folded is a flat paper. You can see it. Next, this is what I was talking about, the 3D map. You can see how it changes. The Shunga dynasty, all those dynasty, Gupta dynasty, then Chola dynasty, how they have conquered and what are the area under them, Kulji, Lodi, Suri, etc. So you'll be able to find this map, as I have also shared the link, so you can go through if you wish to. Next, let's go. Then this is a 3D dimensional map. This is the one which I have shared the link. It shows you all the different parts of the in different parts of India, the locations, etc. Now, what do you mean by counter lines? Counter lines are important. These are lines which are drawn on maps in order to join points to show of equal heights. So, in order to join points, a line is drawn on the map that is called as a counter line. It can be either above or below the sea level. Anything. I have a short video as well uploaded on counter lines. Please go through that. You will be able to understand it in a better way. How the counter lines are measured, whether it's a high area or a low area, or whether it's a hilly place, how the counter lines are being taken into consideration to join the points. Now, terrain. What do you mean by terrain? Many of us do not know about this. Terrain is nothing. It's a stretch of land, right? A land, in order to in order to show the land, a terrain comes into picture, right? Especially with regard to physical features. Physical features are nothing but the different landforms. In order to show them, terrain is a part of it. Now, do you see this? This is called as terrain. Now, how do we understanding about different terrains? Now, if you see flat terrain, you have medium terrains, you have rough terrains. So, there are different types of terrains. Okay, just have a quick look how it works. The lines, yes. Okay, now we come to what is a physical map. What do you understand by physical map? What exactly? The physical map is something which helps us to understand the landforms that we have in our country or in the state. Through that, we will be able to know where the rivers are, where the dams are. Okay, what are our landforms? How are there? How it is being formed? Whether it is there from the start, and what are the colors in it, etc. It shows a different. So let's talk about it. A physical map find in different parts. So there are different colors for it: green, yellow, and brown, and blue as well, to show the seas, okay, and rivers. And then they show a variety of landforms, as I said: mountains, plains, plateaus, etc. So if you remember, we stay in Deccan Plateau. That is, Telangana is in a Deccan Plateau region. Remember that, please. Depict the height of the places as well. We need physical map to depict the height of the place. Let's say, as you have in the Deccan Plateau, we will be in a we will, in order to know where we stand, so we need to have a physical map to depict the height. Now let's see if you've seen this. There are variety of landforms. So in order to show that, we need a physical map. That is what it is talking about. We can even draw. But again, when you draw a map, let's say there's a difference between drawing a map and then having a physical map. A physical map doesn't hide anything, right? It doesn't hide anything. You will be able to see what is there after the, what is there after the mountains or after the hills, if there are any village, etc. But when it comes to a drawing, it doesn't show you. It covers the area which is behind the hills and the mountains. How do we represent height on land? On a flat paper, we can. Is it possible? No. See, we can draw it, as I told you now. We can draw it, but will you be able to know or measure the height? No. For that, we need to have a map. Because, as it says, because of the height of the hillside, whatever is behind them will be hidden. So can you see this? Yes. See the above one, you can't see what is there behind it. But when you see have a map which is showing heights, etc., you can see what is there as well. So does a map show things without hiding? Yes, a map will show all the places without hiding. Yes, it does. But a drawing doesn't show. Through the uses of different colors, we will be able to locate the height or locate the location. Let's say if I want to know whether the sea is there, I would just check for the colors. The colors depict the land. Let's say if it's green in color, that means it is a cultivated land. Has so many forests or cultivation fields in it. So if you see the picture here, there are so many different colors that are being used. Yes, brown, blue, green, peach. Yes. So these show us the different landforms that are available on that in that particular place as well. How is height calculated on that? That is the major part which we come across. Height. Height is calculated on or from sea level. Okay. Remember, above the sea level. Okay, we do not, because we do not know below the sea level what is the measurement. So anything above the sea level, we measure the height of the land, on the land. Now if you've seen, all the seas and the oceans are connected. Yes, connected to each other, but there are sometimes high and low tides as well, depending on the weather and the season. So roughly a figure is taken, because it's the same all over the world. It cannot be high in India and low in uh, the other parts of the countries. Okay, so it is one and the same. So they have taken a roughly picture. So anything, the measuring of the land on the land happens above the sea level. Anything above the sea level. Let's see a picture, please. See, if you can see this, this is a village. We have seen the Nimpur village, as they are in this chapter. Everything, mostly Nimpur village is being focused, which is in India. And you see there is a sea which has sea 0 meters. So anything above it, excuse me. So anything above the sea level is being calculated for the land, as it is a hilly area. You can see, say, from above the sea level 0 meters, then from there to 50 meters will be the village area where the cultivation of land, the different landforms, and above that will be the, it's like 100 meters. Yeah, and you can see the temple which is on the highest peak. Yes, and then it is somewhere between 100 to 150 meters. So this is how the height is calculated. There is also a machine used in order to calculate the height. I would like you to have this is an assignment. Okay, you should I would want you to find out what machine is used in order to measure the height on land. Okay, wonderful. Now height calculation picture. Let's have a brief information. See, all the heights on land are calculated from the sea level. Yes, from the sea level. Since all the seas are all the well are connected to each other, so a rough figure is taken, and you have seen the different. This is the sea level. So from 0 to 50, you have a different color. From 50 to 100, you have a different color, and then from 100 to 150 meters, different color. So colors. Why do you use colors? The reason we use colors is to depict or to understand where and how the location is. If you do not have colors, then how will we know? How will we be able to differentiate? Right? So a physical map shows us all the different landforms. There are so many different kinds of maps. I just spoke to you yesterday. Political map, physical map, and other different maps which shows you with symbols or weather report, etc., etc., rivers, etc. So now, if you see, what do you mean by political map? Political map shows you. Any idea? Okay. Now let's say political maps shows us how it is, like physical map shows us landforms. Okay. So political map shows us about the places that are available. Yep. And what happens is the political maps shows us roads, country borders, and cities that we spoke about. I showed you cities map showing and the Indian map showing cities, states, etc. So the borders are shown in a political map, the cities are shown, and as well as roads, okay, on the map. Physical map and the political map are different. Please make sure that you remember this. Now let's look at the Nimpur village picture, which is on page number 4. We will be answering a quick activity. How many meters above the sea level is the village? Let's go. How many meters above? It is 50 meters above. Let's go back. How many meters above the sea level is the temple? It is above 100 meters, right? How many meters above the sea level is the top of the hill? If you have seen, 150 meters above, right? So we have solved the answers. Let's go to the next page. Now showing height on a map. Height are shown in different colors above the sea level. Now I just spoke to you the reason why, so that we will be able to understand or differentiate between the land and the mountain area or hilly area or the forest area, anything. If you see this, there are different kinds of colors that are being used and how it was used and what it is, the information is being shown. Yes? Hope you had a good look. Now, Nimpur village map, if you just draw it, this is how you look. You're not able to see, right? With the colors, with the help of colors, we are drawing this. Yes? What is the color given to the highest region in the map? Brown color is given to the highest region in the map. Yes, which is the mountain area, the hill area, I can say 150 meters above the sea level. Now, this is an important part. What is a counter line? A line joining places with equal heights on a map. Like let's say there is a map and they are trying to join, like we will have a quick look. See, these are known as counter lines. They are lines drawn, and these lines, are not broken, okay? Remember that. Let's go back. So a line joining places with equal heights on map. And then the counter line can be, it is not straight, okay? It can be irregular in shape as well. I showed you the picture. So irregular it can be, but the line will not be broken upon the landform. See, these lines cannot cut with each other, right? They cannot be cut with each other. So they will be in the same. If one line starts, then it can be a regular shape. It will be the same. It will continue. And the distance between two counter lines will depend on the landscape. Let's say the landscape is hilly, so there will be a distance, right? The distance between those gaps of the counter lines will be upon the landscape. If the land has a steep climbs, then the counter lines will be near to each other. Steep land, yes, counter lines will be near. If it is a slopy land, okay, like a slopy line. If the land is slopy, then what happens? The counter lines will be far from each other. Okay. So do you see this? How it works. So none of the lines are broken, yeah? Yes? Now let's have few examples so that we can understand. Steep and shallow. We were just talking about steep. Yes? The lines. Look at the lines. It's a topography map showing the counter lines. So you have index line, counter line, then counter intervals. The different types as well in this. How are maps useful to us? Why do you think maps are useful to us? It helps us. Yes, it helps us in many ways. Let's see that. Maps helps us to understand the nature of the terrain. Yeah. How the terrain is, whether it's slopy, whether it's flat, whether it's high. Yes. Where the mountains are, where the valleys are. Yeah. And when we look at a physical map of Telangana, we can identify the Godavari slopes. Telangana has a Godavari river flowing where it's stagnant. It doesn't move, it doesn't flow. But we will be able to know how slow, where it passes by, the eastern part. and there are rivers, valleys showing in the physical map. Maps also show height, because when we are constructing roads or dams, it is very important to know the height of the land. So maps come into picture there. And then for dams construction, as I said, yeah, how much land is submerged by the water of the dam, etc. Because again, we have to be careful about the surrounding villages as well. So maps are very much needed. Let's have a look. If you see the green line, yeah, passing by Godavari. Yep, this is the map. I have also taken a picture for you to understand the dams available in India. So do you see? These are the dams which are available in India. Uh, for us, it's Krishna River, Nagarjuna Sagar, yeah, Tungabhadra to the other neighboring state. So there are so many villages, Kaveri, Periyur, yeah, so many dams which are being constructed near the new rivers. You can go through that. See, maximum number of dams. This is the map showing the states which have maximum number of dams. So Maharashtra is in the highest place. Okay, they have 2,354 dams. See, and then you have Madhya Pradesh in second position, Gujarat in third, Chhattisgarh, and Karnataka, which has 231. So having dams is also very much important. Now, this is a picture, this is a drawing, right? Showing all the plains, the different kinds of landforms from the sea level. See, you see soil, there's different colors, right? From trees and plants, from rivers, from ponds, everything joined into a ocean. So you see a small pond, a river flowing, the trees, and the soil where the land is cultivated. Okay. Now, a quick activity. What I would want you to do is Telangana map. See, there's a Telangana map showing the height, land, rivers, and counter lines, etc. Yeah, it depicts the different colors as well. See if you can see that. Blue colors shows where the rivers are, green forest area, greenery, and then cultivated land, the land which is empty. Yeah, these are the ones. Oh, I have updated, given few quiz questions. I would like you to answer those so that we can understand. Even I can understand how far you have understood the lesson, and it also helps you to understand the lesson in a better way and remember that. Because see, learning social is an awesome subject where you will have good knowledge about your, not even your country, and it's also about other countries across the world if you go through the maps. And maps are really important, and it is always helpful for you in your daily life. Now what we have learned, we have learned about physical map. We have seen how to measure height on map, which is above the sea level. And then what are counter lines, lines which are joining the same height on the land or equal height, we can say. In what way maps are useful, we have seen and heard now. And there's an activity on page number 6. I would like you to answer the questions. So that's your home assignment. Hope you would go through the activity and you would enjoy that. What we have learned in this lesson: physical maps, height calculation. So wherever you go, let's say if you're going for a hiking, etc., you will be able to calculate the height. It will become easier for you. Yeah, remember what you have learned, it will help you. And then we have, what we have used is sources. Here we have used textbooks, we have pictures, charts, and we have seen the atlas books, we have seen maps which we have got from internet, right? So if you wish to see more maps, you can go through internet site, or if you have atlas, you can just go through that as well. But internet has more number of options, more different kinds of maps, so you can see it. You have 3D maps as well. So I have also given you a few websites as well to go through that. And you also have videos about counterlines, terrains as well, if in case you would like to go through again and want to know more information about it, how it is being calculated, etc. So thank you so much for your time. This is the end of this lesson, and I hope you have understood how the reading of maps helps us, and why it is very much useful to us, and how the height is being calculated, and how it works. So wonderful. Have a great day.